afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday. Brady Mallory in for Susan on this turned out to be a pretty nice day.
Yeah, I've been in such a good mood and I feel energized. I think it's because of all that sunshine that we've been having.
It certainly helps.
Yeah.
The vitamin D.
Yeah, keep it up.
We'll get to the weather in just a second, but first, topping our news today, a jury found Donald Trump liable for sexually abusing advice columnist E. Jean Carroll in 1996, awarding her $5 million in a judgment.
And Nurses Week brings healthcare workers to the Capitol steps to recognize the work accomplished over the pandemic.
And the Anthem Championship is on the move across town. We'll tell you where the new location for the golf tournament will be in 2025. As we mentioned, it turned out to be nice. Started out kind of wet and damp, but these are some sandhill cranes.
On a little stroll, enjoying the day.
In Tenney Park, I believe. Olin Park.
They are fun to watch.
Yeah, just don't have them get mad at you.
I won't. I saw like a goose the other day and I was like, I will respect your space. I will go the other way.
Feeling great until Friday. The weather words, Greg is in the backyard and it's nice to see the sunshine.
Yeah, definitely got the sunshine now. We had that low stratus, that stubborn low clouds that kind of stuck around for a good chunk of the morning. But overall, we've had cirrus that's beginning to push in. You can see a lot of that low clouds just evaporate. It took some time for Madison, but the outside edges kind of shrunk and left Madison here to about noon to finally get some sunshine. Overall, still clear skies. We look at the temperatures right now. Overall, we're looking at mid to upper 60s for areas to the east of Madison because of the lake breeze and cloud cover that was persistent. But to the west, we're already into the mid 70s because they had sunshine a little bit earlier, but we are climbing probably up to about 70 here for Madison. Overall, no precipitation. Stuff is well to the west right now. That will not impact us at all. So overall, throughout this afternoon, we'll still see cloud cover out there, and we'll slowly see those temperatures drop back down into the 60s by later this evening and probably into the 50s after midnight with partly cloudy skies. Overall, you can see out west, there is more clouds out there, some thunderstorms going on. I'll actually break down if we're ever going to see this type of cloud cover or precipitation and how quickly we'll warm up before we'll cool down for Mother's Day a bit later in the broadcast.
All right, we'll check back with you, Greg. Thank you. After a 7-day trial, the verdict is in. Writer E. Jean Carroll's civil battery and defamation lawsuit against former President Trump, who's running again for office in 2024.
A New York jury found former President Trump liable in the civil lawsuit brought by E. Jean Carroll, accusing him of battery and defamation. The 79-year-old writer sued the former president last November, alleging he raped her in a department store dressing room in the mid-1990s and then defamed her by denying it ever happened. Carroll's attorneys painted the alleged attack as part of a pattern of behavior and called other Trump accusers to the stand.
She obviously presented an amazing case, and he had no defense and didn't even show up.
Attorneys for Trump argued Carroll was trying to profit from a false story and questioned her memory.
Well, less than a week after his nominee for director of the Dane County Human Services was rejected, County Executive Joe Parisi has appointed Gloria Reyes as co-deputy director of the department. Reyes, a former Madison police officer and deputy mayor who fell short in her campaign to be the city's mayor earlier this year, will serve alongside the interim director. Parisi also cited Reyes' work as former president of the Madison Board of Education and as former executive director of Briar Patch, which has partnered with Dane County in the past.
The name of the man who was killed early Friday morning at Badger Tavern in Madison has been released. The man was identified as 44-year-old Jason P. Pritchard of Madison. Preliminary results from the autopsy confirmed Pritchard died from a gunshot wound. Additional testing is underway and the death remains under investigation.
It is Nurses Week, which brought healthcare workers to the Capitol steps this morning to recognize nurses, the work and the dedication through the pandemic. They discussed some of the trauma that nurses faced through the pandemic and pushed for more funding to support those workers and keep them in Wisconsin. They added that now is a critical time as healthcare in Wisconsin is facing a critical staffing shortage as the state's population continues to age.
Recruiting and retaining young nurses, we really need to invest in our healthcare workforce. So programs like the governor's proposed trauma and recovery fund that would expand our funding throughout the state, it would help support our young workers who really need that extra mental health support and need the resources to process the trauma of caring for patients and patients dying at the rates that they are.
So how likely are we going to see those proposals in the next 2-year budget?
Political reporter Will Keneally has the story. Will?
So we're looking at a very ambitious budget proposal here from the governor as he looks to spend the state's record-setting $7 billion budget surplus. And included in that were some health care provisions, perhaps the largest being an expansion of Badger Care here in Wisconsin. And that's always been a non-starter for Republicans, but the state's lieutenant governor, a former nurse herself, pushed back.
70% of Wisconsinites approve. This means that we are no longer going to be able to have $2 billion in federal money coming to Wisconsin. Those dollars are going to other states.
Republicans on the powerful budget writing committee have taken out a handful of the governor's budget provisions, including this Medicaid expansion. Now, coming up tonight, we'll have more on those provisions from the governor's budget that nurses say are key for them. Reporting from the Capitol, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Will. A former SSM Health St. Mary's Hospital nurse has pleaded guilty to tampering with vials of fentanyl while working at the hospital. Officials say 54-year-old Dawn Drum of Janesville pleaded guilty to product tampering and faces a maximum of 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Prosecutors allege Drum removed fentanyl from vials and replaced it with saline, then resealed the vials with superglue. Drum then allegedly put the tampered vials in an automated medication dispensing system so that could be used with other patients.
Well, local police are warning of a new form of scam calls convincing victims to send money over the phone.
They say it's done using AI voice cloning to mask the caller's real voice, making it difficult to tell if it's a scammer. Kyle Bazorski has more on the sign of the times. Kyle?
Well, people say they're getting a call with a panicked voice of a relative saying they're in trouble, needing help with either a car wreck or getting out of jail. These new calls convince people the relative is actually calling when they are not. Elise Schaefer from the Dane County Sheriff's Office tells me that while scam calls have been around for a long time, people are still falling for them, saying the new form can make for some emotional situations.
It can sound extremely believable if they're actually using your grandchild's or child's voice. Emotions start to take over.
She says the easiest thing that anyone can do when they receive a suspected scam call is to hang up, then actually call the relative spoken about on the phone. This is a way to verify your family or friends are safe and not in danger. Another way to verify if it's fake is to again hang up and call the number back. Schaefer says if it's not real, the call will likely not even go through.
Kyle, thank you. Law enforcement officials say the gunman behind this weekend's deadly mall shooting in Allen, Texas, had 8 weapons on him at the time of the attack.
All were legally obtained, and he had no criminal history. 8 people were killed, including 3 members of one family. Omar Villafranca reports from Allen.
Law enforcement officials in Texas revealed details of the investigation into Saturday's deadly mall shooting.
The FBI is currently analyzing electronic devices and digital media connected to the suspect.
Internet searches linked the gunman, 33-year-old Mauricio Garcia, to far-right and white supremacist ideology.
We do know that he had neo-Nazi ideation. He had patches, he had tattoos.
Authorities say the shooter worked for 3 security companies between 2016 and 2020, where he received firearms training and passed a background check.
The big question that we're dealing with right now is what's his motive? Why did he do this? Well, the big question is we don't know.
At the mall, the memorial for the shooting victims is growing. Among those killed, 3 members of the Cho family, Mom Cindy, Dad Q, and their 3-year-old son, James. Their 6-year-old son, William, was wounded. Also killed, 4th grader Daniela Mendoza and her younger sister, Sophia.
Just devastated. It hits really, really close to home.
This mom says the sisters attended the same gymnastics school as her daughter.
Everyone gets along and we love each other, so just getting that email was really sad.
The community is wearing yellow in their memory. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Allen, Texas.
A 20-year-old security guard, a 26-year-old engineer, and a 32-year-old man were also killed in the attack. 6 others remain hospitalized.
Migrants are coming to the southern border in large numbers as Title 42, the pandemic-era immigration policy that allowed the government to quickly expel migrants to slow the spread of COVID, comes to an end this week. The Border Patrol began to detain undocumented migrants in El Paso today to process and deport them. Meanwhile, the Biden administration is working to curb an influx of migrants coming to the southern border as Title 42 comes to an end. President Biden addressed the issue in a phone call with Mexico's president.
We have multiple agencies and multiple countries working together to humanely manage the border when Title 42 public health order lifts on Thursday.
The Biden administration is working to finalize a new regulation which would replace Title 42 and allow for the quick expulsion of migrants apprehended at the border. The regulation would also disqualify migrants from asylum if they fail to request it in another country on their way to the U.S. It would bar most non-Mexican migrants from asylum if they enter the U.S. without permission. Violating the rules would result in swift deportation, a 5-year ban on entering the U.S., and potential criminal prosecution if they do so.
Russian President Vladimir Putin delivered a defiant message aimed directly at the West on a day marking the Allies' victory in World War II. The usual sights dominated Moscow's Red Square, like its nuclear missiles and columns of marching troops. But this year, the big guns were elsewhere. A single World War II T-34 rolled through, the only tank on display. The slimmer ceremony featured soldiers who served in Ukraine. President Putin told them their country's in a sacred battle against the West and that Russians' future depends on them.
Fort Hood in Killeen, Texas has a new name. The military post was named after a Confederate general, but now it will honor the Army's first Hispanic 4-star general. The base was designated today as Fort Cavazos in honor of General Richard Edward Cavazos. Cavazos was born in Texas to Mexican-American parents, served in the Korean and Vietnam Wars, and became a 4-star general in 1982. Fort Hood, long plagued by a series of suicides, homicides, and fatal accidents, is one of 9 Army installations being redesignated to remove Confederate names from military bases.
Well, the American Family Insurance Championship will move across town beginning in 2025. The tournament, which is part of the PGA Tour Champions Circuit, will relocate from University Ridge to TPC, Wisconsin, formerly known as the Cherokee Country Club. University Ridge had hosted the American Family Insurance Championship since the event debuted in 2016. This year's tournament will be held at the course from June 3rd through the 11th. TPC Wisconsin is currently being redesigned, with the work being led by Wisconsin Golf Hall of Famer Dennis Tiziani and 2021 Ryder Cup captain Steve Stricker, who was born and raised in Edgerton.
Oh, how about that?
Well, Mother's Day is this Sunday. Just a reminder, a time to celebrate moms.
But for some, the day can be a trigger. Distinguished psychologist Shyla Murgain helps us navigate the Mother's Day blues when Live at 4 continues.
Everybody wants a whiter smile because having white teeth projects self-care, confidence, and attractiveness. Whether you're on the dating scene, interviewing for a new job, or simply looking to improve your smile, what you need is Power Swabs. Power Swabs is as easy as snap, swab, and smile. You'll notice 2 shades whiter teeth in 5 minutes and 6 shades in 7 days.
The thing I love about Power Swabs is the convenience. I mean, just you break it open, just rub it on your teeth, just like you're brushing your teeth. Let it sit there for a little bit, and you're done.
So I noticed I have a lot more stains on the sides right here. So with the Power Swab, I was able to go in there and really make sure that I was getting that coverage, and it really did work.
Just snap the stain out swab to remove stains from natural teeth as well as caps, crowns, and veneers. Then snap the whitening swab to whiten your teeth 6 shades in 7 days. Finally, smile and show off your pearly whites.
It's 5 minutes in the morning and I'm out the door, and it's amazing. It's a week's worth of 5 minutes a day, and I couldn't be happier with the results.
With Power Swabs, there's no messy strips, trays, or lights that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Whether you smoke or drink coffee, tea, or wine, Power Swabs is sure to lift those stains with 0 to minimal sensitivity. Just a simple 5-minute application, and each day you'll be 1 step closer to smiling with confidence.
Having shades lighter on my teeth in such a short period of time, it almost feels like cheating, to be honest with you, and it tickles me that you can get those kind of results in that short a time period.
Try Power Swabs this Mother's Day and get 50% off your order and free shipping. Plus, get a free quick stick pen to remove those coffee, wine, or smoking stains on the go. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
You got me.
Tag.
You're it. Imagine a world with no drama. With 4imprint, you don't have to chase down the perfect promotional products. Exclusive apparel, bags, drinkware, and more. 4imprint will help you capture the moment and guarantee to deliver your order on time and on budget. Take the drama out of ordering promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Raising healthy children takes a village, and kids thrive when their village is healthy too.
SSM Health and News 3 Now are helping you unlock a healthier world with our Time for Kids Keys to Health campaign. We'll show you how sustainable choices create healthier lifestyles, explore the impacts of food security on families,
and share ways we can help build a healthy community together. Join us on air, online, and in your village, and take time for kids. You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Welcome back. The Washington Post reports the federal government is funding a study to determine whether overdose prevention centers work.
It's the first such study in the U.S. The study will follow drug users in New York City and Rhode Island and determine if those individuals are less likely to overdose. There are only a few facilities in the U.S. where people can use illegal drugs under staff supervision. The staff members are trained in reversing overdoses, and the goal is to help communities decide whether to set up overdose prevention centers.
If Congress doesn't act, the U.S. could default on its debt as soon as early June. That's the word from two new analyses which back up Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen's forecast issued last week. A weaker than expected tax season may have increased the odds that the Treasury won't have enough funds to pay the federal government's bills in early June. How much revenue the agency collects in the next 3 weeks is critical. The U.S. hit its $31 trillion debt ceiling in January. Since then, the department has been using cash and extraordinary measures to avoid default.
A new poll finds Americans aren't confident its leaders can lead the economy in the right direction. According to a new Gallup survey, nearly half of Americans have almost no confidence in President Joe Biden's ability to do or recommend the right thing for the economy. Just 35% of people have a great deal or fair amount of confidence in him. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell doesn't fare any better. Only 36% of Americans have confidence in him on the economy, with 28% saying they have almost no confidence. And when it comes to Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, just 37% have a great deal or fair amount of confidence in her.
Well, stocks turn lower as investors focus on the debt ceiling talks and inflation data. The Dow Industrials lost 56 points, closing at 33,561. The NASDAQ off 77 points. The S&P 500 fell 18. Well, Mother's Day coming up this Sunday can be a trigger for emotional distress.
UW distinguished psychologist Shyla Murgain joins us now with some advice on coping when Mother's Day is painful. And Mother's Day can be painful for a number of reasons for a lot of people.
Absolutely. At a particular point in our life, Mother's Day might be a source of distress. Maybe we've lost our mother, or maybe we just have a complicated relationship with our mother and it doesn't feel time for celebration. Or maybe we lost a child or having fertility issues and it's a reminder that yet again, we don't have that child in our life. So I want to normalize that and talk about some ways of really reframing the day so you can have it be a day of peace and maybe celebration of this concept of mothering that women and men both have.
And you call it mothering yourself.
Absolutely. So I think that's the first thing. If this day is painful, to just take some time for self-care. Do something that will bring some joy. You can even think about that concept of mothering, a mother with a child, really nourishing, supporting that child. You can offer that same kind of kindness towards yourself. And don't feel like you have to go it alone. Reach out to those people who are kind of like surrogate mothers to support you.
Well, sometimes grief can bring feelings of guilt. You blame yourself for whatever reason. You have regrets. So what can you do when confronted with that?
Yeah, it could be forgiveness around your mother and some of the issues there, or even yourself as a mother, or maybe some of those life choices. And the first is, I always say, acknowledge it, but then it's important not to get stuck there. And there are two ways to do that. You can think about moving forward in terms of what kind of meaning do I want to make in my life, or even what kind of legacy do I want to leave. And so, although maybe you can't change the past, you can change the future and keep your focus there and do one small thing in that direction.
And maybe focus on the good things, some gifts along the way.
Absolutely. Even if you have a complicated relationship with your mother, or you lost a child or don't have a child, there's still some hidden gifts there, the diamond in the rough. Maybe your mother gave you the gift of life, or passed on some genetic ability or talent or skill set, or maybe if you lost a child, which is so painful, you remember those sweet moments that you'll carry with you. Or if you don't have children, even just celebrating a child out there, or celebrating a mother that you know in your life.
Well, and for everyone out there, I mean, is it true that there's no one way to celebrate any type of occasion?
That's so true, and it's really permission to make it your own. Think about something that would just bring a little bit of joy in your life, and also connect you to other women out there. And at the heart of it, it's really celebrating the beauty that we all bring to nurturing, supporting, caring for others, that I think is at the heart of this concept of motherhood.
And this is your second Mother's Day.
A lot less sleep deprived.
How does it feel?
It's really incredible. After 3.5 years of trying to have a child, I can appreciate the pain of infertility. But on the other side, there are gifts on the other side, which my daughter is one. And I already purchased my orchid, which is the one thing I wanted for Mother's Day, a new orchid for my house.
And you brought your dad with you today.
I did. So yeah, happy early Father's Day to him. He's right in the back there.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Shiloh, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day to everyone.
Well, some Girl Scouts in New York City are doing some remarkable work.
We'll show you the impact these girls are having on the city's homeless shelters coming up after Greg's First Warn forecast.
You got me. Tag. You're it.
Imagine a world with no drama. For the guarantee of high-quality promotional items delivered on time, go to 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
Looks like they finally got rid of that trip hazard. They pump it full of mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Where are the patched holes? Where's the splashed mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Concrete lifting technologies can quickly raise and level any concrete surface using cutting-edge foam technology made in Wisconsin. Fast and accurate and eco-friendly.
How did those guys do it? Where are the holes? Where's the mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
At Lawton Cates, we provide compassion and guidance after a serious accident. From the first phone call, we're by your side. We know how much is at stake, and we're dedicated to ensuring you can heal and move forward. Your life counts. Lawton Cates.
To everyone who appreciates a handcrafted meal, are you ready for a taste of Wisconsin?
Butterburger's cooked fresh, just the way you like.
The way you love.
Definitely love.
And our thick and creamy frozen custard, we make it for you all throughout the day.
All day.
All day, every day.
Put it in the extra work and not cutting corners.
Takes a little longer.
But it's how we've always done it at Culver's. Because making your meal with care shows how much we care.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Planning a remodel? Don't toss your cabinets, furniture, and appliances. Donate to Habitat Restore. Your items stay out of landfills while proceeds create housing solutions for hardworking families. Build a stronger community with Habitat Restore of Dane County.
Ivisia Dry Eye Drops. Made with hydrating polymers, moisturizing hyaluronic acid, and revitalizing trehalose for instant dryness relief that lasts up to 8 hours. Ivisia, we see a better way.
Well, take a look at this. It's almost winter down under, and they are bouncing for joy at the sight of snow. The frosty fun, thanks to a cold front sweeping through southeastern Australia. These kangaroos are making the most of the winter weather.
Really have a pep in their step.
They really do. You know, it's crazy to think that it's winter somewhere
It's
now.
winter down there. I mean, they have a fire season what's opposite ours, and I know fire-wise, they actually have an agreement with the U.S. where firefighters go down there to help them. They come in our summer and help us. Because the fire season are opposite.
Yeah, perfect timing. Yep. So,
no fire for us.
No snow for us either. Yeah.
No. There's no snow.
We talked about the smoke, though, yesterday coming from the fires in
Yes,
Canada.
from Alberta. You can still see it up to the north, too, kind of crumb. So they're still burning because they didn't have a lot of snow. But
And
otherwise,
it might be some northern lights?
maybe, if we can get the storming to be a little bit stronger. Right now, it doesn't to be that strong, but I think we might see it. Right there, you can kind of see, that's really probably for tomorrow night, not tonight. It's a little bit less. If the storming occurs, what's expected, that line of where you'll see it, it's probably going to be right around southern Wisconsin, better as you go further north with the green, and obviously if you're in the red, you're going to see it. So that could change a little bit with the storming once it hits, but modeling right now kind of shows that's what it should be like. So there's a chance, depending on cloud cover, which it should be less clouds tomorrow, so we could see it.
I was going to ask about that. All right, sunshine then.
Yeah, off and on clouds, but we got the sun to come out finally. Yeah. At least Madison was kind of in that cloud area for a while, but we got
it took a while.
It took a while. Each side of it did well, but the sun looks like to be out for at least the next several days before unsettled weather returns. I'll break it all down after the break.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
At Revamp, we transform your old beat-up concrete from this to this in one day. We grind down the concrete to open up the pores for a perfect bond. Then we repair all cracks and apply our base coat and chip and seal it with our polyaspartic top coat that will never chip, peel, or discolor. On top of all that, our coatings are ridiculously easy to clean and covered by our exclusive lifetime warranty. And right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating from any of our Revamp brands, you get a $60 Visa gift card, plus either 60% off the installation or 60-month no-interest financing. And when you call during this program, you'll also get up to 10 carbon fiber concrete stitches free, which help reinforce cracks and stop them from spreading. A $350 value for free.
South Central Wisconsin homeowners, pick up the phone. Call 1-800-886-8411. That's 1-800-886-8411.
Now what? You say it when things get out of hand. At Prudential, we think you should say it when you hand down something valuable, too. Like when you realize a recipe is just one gift you can give them. Ask, now what? Here's what. You get life insurance from Prudential and help protect your family like you protect a family recipe. Who's your rock? Ask your employer about Prudential benefits or speak to an advisor today.
Here's your parachute. Packed it myself.
Certain it's okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are you for Imprint certain?
Certainty matters, like the certainty of congratulating coworkers or saying thank you for being a customer with promotional products from 4imprint. Our expert team is dedicated to making your satisfaction a certainty.
Packed it myself.
Land the perfect products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, we're going to start having a quiet period here for a while, but then things will start to get active. Really, if you look at satellite right now, we have a severe thunderstorm complex down there in Kansas that's kind of swung around. So there are some waves that have come across the southwest flow, but they fall apart as they get closer to us. So we're just going to see some of these through the next couple days, but just some cloud cover. Eventually, this low, you can see there sitting towards California, is going to push east, and that's going to be the weather maker that'll eventually push into our area by Friday through Sunday. So that'll what will bring up more moisture and more of these waves up into our our area, and I'll show that in a little bit. But so far, most of this is still dry to the west, so that's the good news as we see for the next few days. So if we break it down for temperature-wise all the way through Thursday, we should reach the 80s. Some areas might see the 80s tomorrow, but all should get at least close to it by Thursday. Periods of cloud cover, like I said, mid-high level clouds that will come through some of these thunderstorms that basically fall apart to the west will continue to push east over the area, but still plenty of sun. Then once that low gets closer, we'll have more stronger waves, and they'll actually bring the precipitation up. So starting Thursday night, Friday through Saturday, some periods, not all day rain or all day night, but we will have periods of it. The severe threat so far seems to be fairly low. It'll probably be south of the area, kind of like the last system last weekend we had. But Mother's Day is starting to look a little bit more cool, breezy, and just plain rainy too, depending on where this sets up. But it is starting to appear that way. For the time being, for tonight, we'll see some cloud cover once again. We're not going to lose it as temperatures then fall off this evening back into the 60s, and then eventually overnight, past midnight, we'll get back into the 50s. Clear skies, but there could be a few patches of areas of fog once again, or low clouds that could develop. Shouldn't be widespread as we go in the morning hours. We'll get down into the low 50s, and by 7 or 8 we should be back around 60 with a light southeast wind. Once again, we could see some patches of fog, but I think most areas will be pretty much clear as we wake up. And we go through the rest of the day. Wednesday, we're going to see temperatures even warm up more. A lot of this cloud cover you see is just high clouds, so the sun will be able to poke through those pretty well and get our temperatures back up to the mid to upper 70s by the afternoon with a light southerly wind. Once again, going into Wednesday night, not much change. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer. You'll start picking up that southeast wind as we go overnight. Once again, few clouds, but nothing to speak of. Generally, as we get to Thursday, I think that will be the day with the most sunshine, just because we will start off fairly clear. Mid-50s as we start up, and then temperatures will zoom right back up into about 80 by the afternoon. As you notice, one little wave of showers and thunderstorms heads north. As that low gets closer, those waves will start getting closer to our area, but that one by Thursday morning should stay well to the west. We'll see more of that come Thursday night. As we time out the bigger picture, you can see overall this system just continues to bring up wave after wave of showers and maybe thunderstorms until we get to Sunday, and then it basically wraps up right along our area. So that's why we're thinking Saturday could actually be rainy, cooling, and just breezy just because it's overhead. So something to keep in mind. Severe weather threat should be still to the west for Wednesday, so we're not seeing any threat with that yet. And overall temperatures, once again, 80s could be tomorrow and Thursday, cooling off gradually to the mid-60s by Sunday, and then back to clearing and drying conditions for the start of next week. And looks like right now it'll be right around average, which by that time should be about 70 degrees.
That's so perfect.
Should be right now.
Not for Mom.
Yeah, unfortunately that does look kind of bad, but that could change. But right now it does look fairly, kind of like, you know, Monday we had those type of conditions, but a little bit warmer than that.
And nothing severe on the outlook.
Right now everything should be south, and climatology-wise, that's where it should be really this time of year. We still got a few more weeks till we get going back up to there, so June.
Okay. Greg, thank you. Actor, producer, and director Tom Hanks can add novelist to his resume.
What can't he do? The two-time Oscar winner sat down with CBS Mornings to talk about his new work of fiction and his own experiences behind the scenes. Tom Hanks, well, he knows a thing or two about making movies. Hanks channeled decades of experience during pandemic downtime to write the making of another major motion picture masterpiece. It's about the making of a star-studded blockbuster superhero action film. From the stars to the crew. Speaking with CBS Mornings about an obnoxious character in the book, well, Hanks poked fun at his own on-set behavior.
I've been the guy who says, why can't I wear sunglasses? I think the guy should wear sunglasses in this scene.
Same. Hanks' love letter to movie making comes at a time when Hollywood writers are on strike, seeking better pay and protections against artificial intelligence. Hanks is hoping for a win-win outcome where everyone can get back to making movies.
What a talent. Over 100 movies.
He's busy.
Yeah, he is. Well, Girl Scout cookies have long captured America's appetite and heart.
But New York's Troop 6000 is unlike many others, and the girls and moms in the group are making a real impact on the city's shelter system.
Vanessa Yurkovich has the remarkable story.
For over 100 years, Girl Scouts across the country have sold their famous cookies.
2 boxes of the Adventurefuls, 2 boxes of the Tag-Alongs.
But in New York City, a troop unlike many others is holding its annual cookie sale. Troop 6000 for girls experiencing homelessness or living in shelters.
Thank you.
I was like, can I have some more? Because those are my favorite.
9-year-old Gillespie was an early member of Troop 6000, formed 6 years ago. Her mom, the program's director, is the reason it exists.
Back in 2017, my kids and I had lost our home. We ended up in the New York City shelter system. I was already an employee at Girl Scouts of Greater New York. How do I tell them that I want to start a troop here and why? I walked in and it was like, absolutely, let's do it.
The first troop started with just 7 girls at Giselle Burgess's shelter. Now it's more than 2,500 women and girls across more than 20 shelters. It also inspired similar troops countrywide.
What do you think it was about Girl Scouts being there that attracted the girls to the program so quickly?
It's such a discouraging and scary time already. It was exciting to see girls as they were walking by participating and laughing in one room, and they were like, I want to hang out with them every week.
Giselle and her children are now out of the shelter, but are still a part of Troop 6000. For families still in shelters, the program is free, which includes trips, camps, and weekly activities. The cookie sale helps cover the costs.
Is there anything special in order to be a part of Troop 6000?
Oh, yes. Make sure you want to make new friends, and if you're shy, you should join, because if you're shy, that's how they help you, because they make you not shy.
Get cookies, we sell more! What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be like a therapist for like younger kids. I like what she said, I might be a therapist.
Is that something that you feel like you learned here and you want to give back to other kids?
Yeah.
This population of young women has seen incredibly traumatic events, so by them seeing us care for them so much, and of course they're learning that I can give that back.
And they're giving it back in real time. In January, Troop 6000 expanded to shelters with immigrants and asylum seekers.
Girl Scouts doesn't care about her status. She's in New York City. She needs to be taken care of.
Hi. 11-year-old Laura from Colombia and her 16-year-old friend Julissa from Nicaragua arrived in the U.S. about 6 months ago. Now New Yorkers, Yankee hats and all, they are new members of Troop 6000. I've only seen this in the movies. It's always been a dream of mine to do this, she says. And for many of the mothers of the girls in Troop 6000, the program is as much for them as it is for their children.
Why is it so important for you and your daughters?
It gives us opportunities that we don't have in our own country. It gives us the opportunity to be ourselves, she says.
Did you ever think that one conversation many years ago would lead to this?
Never. Never. I just thought I was doing the right thing, you know?
And this is the final week of sales for many Girl Scout troops, including Troop 6000.
Last chance to grab some Thin Mints, son.
I got a box on my desk.
We had them all over the newsroom for quite some time.
Yeah, they didn't last long.
Nope.
Well, coming up next year at Live at 4, a woman buys a house to find out her walls are filled with snakes.
Full body chills. Then at 5, we preview the new town square in Watertown with the help of reporter Catherine Merck.
Turn your low energy into big fitness energy at Planet Fitness. Now through May 10th. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Our clean and spacious, judgment-free zone has equipment for every workout. Join today. $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, May 10th.
Oh no, I think I lost my debit card.
Okay, don't panic.
Don't panic, we're in a mall. Some stranger's probably tapping new shoes, tapping a washer-dryer combo, just tapping everything in sight.
It's okay, just tap your phone. With BMO, you can use your phone to freeze and unfreeze a lost card.
I can?
And you can always get a new card instantly at a BMO branch.
I got my tap back.
You ever seen someone this excited about a debit card before?
Oh yeah. Not this excited.
When a bank gives you instant peace of mind, that's the BMO effect.
At McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo, we know that hardworking people want the most value for their money. At McGann's, we've already sorted out and selected the brands that we feel offer you the most bang for your buck. From young couples to senior citizens, we offer a huge selection at prices that will fit your budget. And remember, at McGann's, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Discover the difference at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Get 11% off all cleaning supplies now at Menards. Procter & Gamble delivers high-quality products from brands you can trust, like Dawn, Tide, and Bounty. These Bounty paper towels are 2 times more absorbent and stronger when wet. Get a pack for just $18.99 after rebate. Keep your home organized with Designer's Image Closet Solutions. Perfect for storing clothes and hanging accessories. Right now, this white wooden closet system is $399.99 after 11% rebate at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again.
Turn your low energy into big fitness energy at Planet Fitness. Now through May 10th. Join for $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Our clean and spacious, judgment-free zone has equipment for every workout. Join today. $1 down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, May 10th.
New at 5, raising a battle cry. Nurses rally together to demand the changes they have yet to see since the pandemic. We look at how the state budget could aid that.
Another mild day is on tap, but we could see potentially some fog for some areas and another system to bring in some rain towards the back end of the work week. We'll break it down tonight at 5.
The city of Watertown is getting a new and improved town square. Tonight on News 3 Now, I'll tell you about the entertainment options coming to the city just in time for summer.
Here's a live look at downtown Madison on this sunny Tuesday. I think we need the lens cleaned on that thing.
I'll get my squeegee. Some Windex, too.
Oh, Windex, then.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
Well, snakes in the walls of her new home have a Colorado woman climbing the walls.
She discovered the snakes when she first moved in.
Jeannie Mose reports on the slithering surprise. Take it easy, Brady. That was waiting for this first-time home buyer.
Snakes on a plane was just a movie, but snakes in the walls? This is like a nightmare.
Big time.
Single mom Amber Hall was finally able to buy her first home in a suburb of Denver, but even as she unpacked, she discovered others had already moved in.
They're literally coming out of the woodwork, out of every hole and crevice.
One of her dogs found the first one in the garage.
Well, guys, here he is, the snake.
Since then, Amber's seen as many as 30. The snake wrangler she hired thinks there's a den of garter snakes, which could mean hundreds of babies. For Amber, it's
petrifying, but also my mind is playing tricks on me. I think I see snakes everywhere I go.
The other day, she thought for a second she somehow brought one from home to her job as a nursing supervisor, but it was only
a striped phone charger wrapped around a chair.
If you ask her about her dream of finally owning a home,
you're gonna make me cry. I spent every penny I had to get this house.
Now people are saying she should move.
But it's like, where am I supposed to go?
A cousin set up a GoFundMe page, we call it Snakes on a Page, to help pay for snake removal and reconstruction and maybe an attorney. But Amber hasn't lost her sense of humor.
It creeps me out.
When her brother and a buddy came over to install shelves, she put her kid's rubber snake in a closet, stopping one of the guys in his tracks. Her kids, ages 11 and 13, keep trying to scare her.
They place it strategically all over the house.
In the words of Indiana Jones,
why did it have to be snakes?
True, these are harmless garter snakes rather than pythons, but still Amber's feeling the squeeze.
I definitely do a full inspection of the toilet every time I sit down.
Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
That rubber snake business has to stop after.
It doesn't help.
No. I feel for her because every little movement you hear, you'll think.
Oh yeah, then you think you're seeing snakes, and they're not. I feel bad for her. So hopefully she'll get some relief. Well, Thursday marks the end of the federal COVID-19 public health emergency declaration.
So what does that mean in the treatment, care, and prevention of COVID? We'll get some answers from UW Health's Dr. Jeff Pothoff, he's right there in the green room. Stay with us.
I definitely don't say enough on this segment how lucky I am to have this job, because today I am sitting here with Tumbled Rock Brewster, Erica Deanda, and we're running, what did you call us? Quality control? Quality control. We're running quality control and drinking today. Tell me about your dream job.
Yeah, I am from California originally, from Oakland, and found my way out to Wisconsin after working a couple different bars, a couple different packaging jobs, assistant brewing jobs, and found my way here in Baraboo and living my dream.
What is it that you love so much about what you get to do?
I love the creative control. I don't view myself as a creative person, so actually being able to write these beer recipes and choose the ingredients and say I actually did make something is really cool. And just our community that we have based around, from our locals to our out-of-towners. The community is really what makes it special here.
How fun is it to be here on a busy night and see all of the people enjoying your babies? This is from scratch, like this is your pride and joy. I mean, that must be an amazing feeling.
It still doesn't feel real sometimes. It's wild to see people just like drinking the drinks and enjoying it, and I couldn't ask for anything better.
For people who are thinking Tumbled Rock, Baraboo, I don't know where this place is. It's in the beautiful Baraboo Bluffs, but what can they expect here?
Live music, amazing atmosphere, really great wood-fired pizzas on top of our other entrees, a really amazing staff, and I think good beers.
Some of the best beers you're gonna find. Enough said. We're gonna do more quality control. Come out and check this place out, Tumbled Rock Brewery and Kitchen. Cheers to you, Brewster. You are awesome. I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
As summer approaches, is your house ready? Over 7 out of 10 homes are poorly insulated. Is yours? Here are some of the signs. Is your house too cold in the winter? Is it too hot in the summer? Does your furnace and AC run almost non-stop? Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Are your energy bills too high? You don't need a new home. You need better insulation.
And right now, during Home Improvement Month, our labor is free, but that ends May 31st.
USA Insulation.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Well, there's been a lot of debate about when to start getting mammograms and how often.
Now, a key task force is proposing a change to breast cancer screening recommendations. In 2009, the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force controversially advised against routine mammograms for women in their 40s and encouraged them to make an individual decision. Now the task force is recommending women at average risk for breast cancer get mammograms every other year, starting at age 40, in light of new science. Dr. Jules Cohen with Stony Brook Cancer Center says he and many other doctors think women should have annual mammograms starting at 40.
We think we can hopefully split that difference by doing some sort of risk stratification so that we don't over-treat just because we find something early.
Black women are much more likely to die of breast cancer and get cancers at younger ages. The task force is calling for more research to try to understand the significant health disparity. These new recommendations are not for women at high risk for breast cancer.
Well, the COVID health emergency officially comes to an end in the U.S. on Thursday. What does this mean, and how will health care change?
Joining us as usual on Tuesdays, it's UW Health's Chief Quality Control Officer, Dr. Jeff Pothoff.
Good to see you again.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you guys?
Pretty good.
Doing well.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
So, is COVID over?
Not over, but you know, we are in a lot better spot. I'm sitting on this couch talking to you guys when things are not looking so good. Cases are relatively low, so there's COVID out there. People are getting sick from COVID, but it does feel good to kind of have some of these things sunset and get back to managing COVID like, you know, other diseases, even though it's still relatively new.
Yeah, learning to continue to live with it.
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. It's, it's not to say that, we can completely forget about COVID right now. I think right now there is like a healthy amount of immunity in the community, either from previous infection or immunization. But it's important to know that as time goes on, that will start to wane. And without a lot of COVID out there, folks could find themselves in a situation where they don't have great protection against severe disease, which means, when boosters become available likely this fall, it will still be important to get them, even if COVID isn't making headlines.
So what does this ending of the health emergency mean?
I think, it means a lot of different things to different folks, but for the average person out there, I think the important thing to be aware of is during the pandemic, it was really easy to get anything healthcare related to COVID-19, whether it was testing, vaccinations, medications. If you got sick, it was all covered, subsidized by the government. That starts to go away. So depending on your insurer, you may have more out-of-pocket costs for things like vaccination, buying tests, getting treatments if you do get sick with COVID. So like most other things, it's important to talk to your insurer and say, what am I on the hook for? What am I not on the hook for? Don't just assume that it's all going to be free after this Thursday.
So it's probably important to start researching now so you're prepared, especially when fall, winter comes.
Yeah, I think absolutely. Or if you're running short of COVID tests, see if there's any free tests still out there until folks run out, but then talk to your insurer. Some people could go to Walgreens, buy some tests. It was just covered. That might not be the case anymore. You might be paying for that yourself.
And they have expiration dates. Are those accurate?
Well, they're accurate when the test was manufactured, but what the test companies have been doing, working with regulators, is, they got those tests out, and we didn't really know how long they would last. So they put expiration dates on them. As those expiration dates get close, those companies are testing those tests to see if they're still good, and those expiration dates have been extended. So you can go on to, I believe it's a CDC website, it'll have the manufacturer and your lot number, and it'll give you like the updated expiration date. So don't just throw them out, look and see if they're still good.
Wow. Oh, I got a stack of them. I better check them. Been hoarding them.
Yeah. It's interesting to think 3 years later we're at this point.
Yeah, I mean, 3 years. Who would have thought 3 years? I mean, I was hoping like 12 months maybe on the high end.
But we did calls last week when you were here, and they're all COVID questions.
Yeah, I still think there's still a lot of COVID questions, or what's happening, and should we be wearing masks? There's all kinds of stuff out there yet, but we are in a good spot.
We are. Good to see you, Doctor.
You bet. Same here.
We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
With Dad's arthritis, he needs extra help around the house, so I called a Grace. Yes, a Grace. With their agent home service, he can stay at
home. That's where I want to spend these months. With hospice care from a Grace, I can stay home with my dog and my grandkids and their laughter.
I had no idea laughter could be a part of my life again after Joe died, but through a Grace, I found hope and healing.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Backyard living season is here. Coolview has great solutions to beat the backyard blues and save 15 to 25%. Cover your deck with a screen porch, an enclosed porch, or sunroom. If you have a screen porch, let us turn it into an enclosed porch. Shade your patio with a pergola or awning. All on sale now. Let Coolview show you how to tame your backyard blues. Call now for a quote before the sun sets on savings.
Get a new view from Coolview.
Salonpas Lidocaine Flex, a super thin, flexible patch with maximum OTC strength lidocaine that contours to the body to relieve pain right where it hurts. And did we mention it really, really sticks? Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Nurses demand urgent action. Another year passes since the pandemic. What significant transformations have occurred? We look into their ongoing struggles. Plus, Will Keneally delves into the vital provisions within the state budget that can positively impact nurses. It's coming up next.
Show us your weather photos, and you could win a First Warn weather umbrella. Send us your weather pics in an email or on the First Warn weather app. We'll select and showcase the winning entries each day on News 3 Now this morning and News 3 Now at 6. Send in your pics to win a First Warn weather umbrella today.
We're looking at dry conditions lasting through at least Thursday with temperatures in the 70s to near 80s starting Wednesday, likely Thursday, even going through Friday. It does become unsettled with showers and thunderstorms returning Friday, Saturday, and probably just showers or rainy conditions Monday. If you're outside dining tonight, it should be actually fairly comfortable with very light winds. Temperatures around 70 this evening, dropping down to the mid-60s. But once again, light winds, a few clouds or sun out there, but overall not too bad. Overall temperature trend, we top off all the way up into the 80, and then we swing back down to 65 for Mother's Day with the rainy conditions. And then next week overall, we look like to be pretty seasonal conditions with 70s and overall dry conditions for most of next week, you guys.
All right, Greg, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company will be taking your plant and garden questions live.
And it's a booming tourist trend in Mexico, all-inclusive resorts. CBS travel expert Wendy Gillette shows us more.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
Recent hailstorms in your neighborhood may have caused damage to your roof. Don't let fly-by-night, out-of-the-state, inexperienced roofers rip you off. Who should you trust to fix your roof and do it right? Fry Construction. For more than 20 years, Fry Construction and Home Improvement has continued to earn the trust of area homeowners. And when the roof over your family is damaged, we jump into action. After all, we're your neighbor too. Call Fry Construction and Home Improvement now to get your free hail inspection.
Celebrate Memorial Day at Brothers Maine, where unbeatable appliance deals come with expert advice. Enjoy special prices and free delivery on top brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
Low E, also known as low energy, is wreaking havoc on millions.
I can't even pull out the hose.
Thankfully, there's Planet Fitness. Now through May 10th, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. It's how you turn your low E into big fitness energy. Our clean and spacious, judgment-free zone has equipment for every workout to keep you energized all day. Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, May 10th.
Your heart is the beat of life. If you have heart failure, entrust your heart to Entresto. Entresto helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor if Entresto is right for you.
Here's your parachute.
Certain it's okay? Are you 4imprint certain? Certainty matters, so congratulate coworkers or say thank you with promotional products from 4imprint.com.
4imprint for certain.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
In today's Final Touch, a surprise from outer space shocks a family.
It was a very unwanted visitor crashing into the family home. A smashed ceiling and a dinged up floor. The culprit allegedly from out of this world. Susie Kopp thinks it's a meteorite and says this small metallic object from space smashed into her dad's New Jersey home. Luckily, no one was inside at the time. The collision course, a rarity according to astronomers. It's only happened a few times in history. And while Kopp did touch the meteorite, no radioactivity was recorded.
So we have to worry about that, snakes in the walls. We've been through enough.
It's time to take a breather. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.